Prime Hydration skyrocketed to a viral sensation, but now it's a financial disaster. With sales plummeting, lawsuits piling up, and global bans stacking up against it, the brand that once dominated social media is now fighting for survival. Can Logan Paul and KSI turn things around, or is Prime destined to be just another internet trend? Stick around as we unravel all of the chaos. Oh, and whatever you do, please don't comment Prime in the comments section below. Otherwise, I'll have to buy some of the drink and give it some sales. Ugh. What happens when you get a YouTuber who's best known for his shenanigans in a forest in Japan, and the second least funniest member of the Sidemen? Prime, the drink. It's a range of yummy drinks for you and your friends. But guess what? No one's buying it. Well, at least not anymore, that is. Now, there's one thing we need to understand about Prime and its parent company, Prime Hydration LLC. Prime Hydration produces 3 types of drinks. Firstly, Prime Energy, which is an energy drink very similar to Red Bull. Then we have Prime, the sports drink. This is very similar to something like Gatorade and has been marketed heavily towards teenagers. Last but not least, we have Prime, the drink mixes. I don't know what that is. It's like a fizzy drink, maybe? I don't know. From the photos that I've seen, it looks like a very kind of kid-friendly, sugary drink. Kind of like cordial. Though the drink was founded by Mr. Paul and Mr. I, there are a lot of other people involved with the energy drink and the other drinks associated with the Prime brand. Specifically, co-founders and affiliates Max Clemens and Trey Steiger. So I'm Australian, and when Prime was really big, Logan Paul and KSI visited Sydney and bragged about the sales success of the drinks. He went on one of our most prestigious radio shows, Kyle and Jackie O, which is hosted by the radio station KISS. Which, by the way, Kyle and Jackie O have been famous since I was literally like a 2-year-old. They've been around for a very long time.
In year 1, we cleared $110 million in retail sales.
Oh, wow.
Jeez.
Sorry, excuse me. 250 million in retail sales.
Oh, sorry, that was a little mistake.
110 million gross internally. In January of this year, we did 45 million.
Oh,
Wow.
only in January?
Yeah.
And he also bragged to the new president of the US, Donald Trump, just before he was elected in. And by the end of its second year, Prime had reached 1.2 billion in terms of sales. People were really hydrated that year. Like, they were just drinking a lot. Unfortunately, for all the people that were involved, it's not 2023 anymore. And those mighty heights that Prime experienced are coming down with a very heavy crash. So let's go into the history of Prime. The drink, not Amazon. I'll be honest, I'm not an expert, nor am I a nutritionist. However, the primary problem with Prime, the reason it's always in the news, is because it has a lot of caffeine in it, specifically Prime Energy. And this is a primary reason as to why it's blown up in terms of its legal cases that it's involved with. This is a really weird thing to look up, but I'm gonna look it up for the video. And the thing is, Logan Paul and KSI have primarily child fan bases, kids and teenagers, and they're promoting a product that has a lot of caffeine, enough that's really bad for them. Look at this. This is the amount of people that went to the Australian tour, like when KSI and Logan were here in Sydney, and it's primarily teenage boys. It's honestly like if Steve from Minecraft decided to start selling kids Adderall in the next Mojang update for Minecraft. What is wrong with me? What is that reference? The drink itself was officially announced in January 2022. Mr. I and Mr. Paul announced everything on Instagram, saying that they had founded Prime Hydration. Because they have such a huge following, the drink was huge online. There were even some drinks on eBay and other websites going for $400. This one here is $1,000. I reckon those people feel pretty silly, as you can now literally buy some of the bottles for less than $1. Joke's on you, haha. There was a lot of media attention for the drink. Mary McCarthy from The Independent spoke about how the drink was misogynistic? Yes, liquid, the most sexist of the elements. Gordon Ramsay gave it a sip and said it tasted like swallowing perfume. So I mean, that's a pretty good rating. But even with all the media backlash, it continued to sell very well. Like, we've all seen those videos of people going absolutely insane for just a single bottle of Prime. By the end of 2022, Bloomberg reported that the drink reached an estimate of 250 million sales. That's like more than 5. It's more than 10 too. It's more than 12. In 2023, I feel like the marketing for the drink really blew up. For some reason, KSI and Logan Paul did a bunch of photo shoots. like a little bit too many. Photo shoot, more photos. They're bold on this one, they look like me. More photos. That one, they're shirtless for some reason. More photos. Like, why did they do so many photos? They also released a gold Prime, which was apparently worth $500,000. I don't really know how. It doesn't really make any sense that it would be worth that. Isn't it just the same drink, just wrapped in a fancier, shinier plastic? Oh, and they also went on a tour, which is why they were in Australia, and I'll get into more details about that very soon. Though social media traction was a huge reason as to why the drink was successful, with KSI and Logan obviously pushing for the drink, from what I understand, the flavors were a huge draw as to why it had such a huge consumer base when it originally came out and that second year of sales. And yes, the drink does look delicious, and apparently it tastes pretty good. So all in all, you do have to hand it to the marketing team. They did a really good job at making a modern day interpretation of an energy drink, of something that is marketable. They did a very good job at pushing it all around the world, which may have not ended super well. Reports have come in from 2024, specifically the end of 2024, and boy, it's not looking very good for Prime. According to Nielsen IQ, the drink's sales have fallen by 48% in the UK, which is where KSI is from. So yes, it's still making money, but it's not making enough to cover all the lawsuits that they've managed to get themselves stuck in. We'll get into the legal stuff very, very soon. It is literally being deemed as, and I quote, the fastest falling food and drink brand ever. Sales at the end of 2024 were at 68 million, which is still quite a lot, but this is from 131 million from a year before that in 2023. For reference, in the same period, Monster, the energy drink, grew by 103.6 million in sales. Red Bull also grew by 84.7 in terms of sales in the same period as well. So while everything else is growing, Prime is falling. I guess we'll briefly mention the Mr. Beast team up with Lunchly. It's essentially a very cheap kids meal that includes a bottle of Prime. This didn't really help sales in the grand scheme of things. And even after the awkward podcast that the three did, from what the finance industry is saying, it doesn't look like Prime is ever going to reach the same heights it did in 2023. Niamh Carroll from Marketing Week says, it doesn't look like Prime is likely to turn to traditional brand building to restore its fortunes. So if they're not willing to change their marketing strategy, is there any hope? Maybe, I don't know. I can't tell the future, unfortunately. I don't have superpowers yet. However, let's say they do turn things around and they actually do start making money because of a new marketing strategy, or perhaps things just go good for them for some reason, because, I mean, everything else has gone good for them. However, no matter how much money they do make, will it be enough to fight off all the lawsuits they're currently facing? Yes, let's get into the legal drama of everything. Dun dun! These are their stories. Prime has faced a lot of legal restrictions and bans across the world. In Australia, multiple schools have banned Prime Energy across the country, including in New South Wales, Queensland, and Western Australia. Woolworths, one of our big supermarket brands, have also added a disclaimer when selling Prime Energy. It says the following: the drink is not suitable for children under the age of 15, pregnant or breastfeeding women, and should only be used under medical and dietetic supervision. Bosnia and Herzegovina prohibited the import of 1,596 bottles of Prime because one of its flavors didn't suit its nutrition label. Canada issued a recall of Prime as it exceeded the country's maximum 180 milligrams of caffeine. Also, the product was only in English. Canada needs bilingual packaging, including English and French, which Prime did not have. Prime Energy was not prohibited to sell in Denmark. The Food and Veterinary Service of Latvia suspended imports of Prime due to translation issues with its logo and packaging. The Netherlands were just like, yeah, nah, we're good, Logan, thank you, but no, we don't want your drink. Prime Energy is illegal to sell in New Zealand. In Norway, during Logan Paul and KSI's tour for the drink, the team visited Oslo, where 70 people were injured during a Prime event due to heat and crowd issues. Slovenia banned Prime Energy because it contains L-theanine. In the United States of America, Senator Chuck Schumer begged the US Food and Drug Administration to look at Prime Energy, and this was only the beginning. To start things off, the US Olympic and Paralympic Committee is suing Prime Hydration for trademark infringement. Prime has allegedly used phrases and symbols associated with the Olympics, which the committee believe was in bad faith and was deliberate to mislead consumers on a special edition drink that they released. The drink, during promotional pieces, featured Kevin Durant, a basketball star and 3-time Olympic gold medalist. The really big and intense legal issues are the multiple class actions that Prime Hydration is currently facing due to Prime Energy's ingredients. The first lawsuit is in regards to Prime Energy containing forever chemicals within its formula. For those who don't know, forever chemicals are toxic to humans. A lot of the other legal cases cases are about Prime Energy's use of caffeine and how much caffeine it has within its formula. A woman has claimed in the US that Prime Energy drinks were deceptively marketed as safe for children. This collides with several laws from California and Kentucky. A famous and successful stock car driver, his name is Cesar Baccarella, has opened a lawsuit against Prime Hydration regarding, again, trademark infringement. Baccarella has products called Prime Alpha and Prime Bites, and is pushing forward that the drink company has named their products, their drinks, confusingly similar to the goods that he produces. Finally, the most insane lawsuit is the one that Prime is facing against the bottle manufacturer Refresco. Refresco is suing the parent company of Prime Hydration, Congo Brands, which is owned by Max Clemens and Trey Steiger, who I mentioned at the start of this video. Refresco is alleging that Congo Brands has backed out of a contract agreement to produce a certain amount of drinks over a 3-year period. The amount was 55.5 million cases of Prime. Essentially, Refresco did the job. They did what they signed up to do. But then Congo backed out as they weren't getting enough sales. Allegedly. Again, allegedly. This is all alleged. This wasted people's time and people's money. Thus, Refresco is asking for $67.7 million to cover the costs for the amount of cases and bottles they made. Now it's 2025. It'll be interesting to see what happens to Prime. Of course, if they backed out of their bottle deal with Refresco, are they making any more bottles, or have they put everything on pause? Or are they trying to just sell whatever is left and then just grab the bag and run away? I feel like we'll all look back on Prime very similar to how we look back on fidget spinners, the mannequin challenge, dabbing. Like, we'll be like, that was a thing, wasn't it? Yeah, I guess it was. If you're interested in the new Marvel series Daredevil Born Again, I have a deep dive going over the series' drama and development behind the scenes. That'll be in the outro section. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you. This was a really fun video to look into, and I'm glad I made it. I'm thirsty. I might get some Prime.